Hey friends, it's Danielle with Schoolhouse Rudd. Come along with me as I make some amazing back to school DIYs for my shared office. First, we're going to start off with a giant piece of loose leaf paper and a number 2 pencil. For the giant loose leaf paper, you're going to grab a foam board from Dollar Tree, and we're going to start by getting a pink Sharpie and making the margin. I just used an extra foam board as my straight edge since I needed one long enough for the board. And then grab a blue Sharpie. Now that top line, it's always a little bit from the top so you can write your name and date. And then I just evenly spaced out the lines as best as I could, just doing everything free-handed, no measuring, we're going for cute and not perfect. And yeah, finished going all down the rest of my piece of paper. It turned out so cute, even with the little flaws in it. I think it's perfect. Now, let me show you what happened here. All that I could find right now were orange and purple pool noodles. So I grabbed an orange one and I cut it in half. And my idea was to make half of it a crayon and half of it that number 2 pencil. Here's where things kind of went wrong. I was trying to shape the top of it into the tip of a crayon, and I will just leave the footage in so that you can see how to actually make a crayon if you're interested and want to follow the instructions, because they're pretty simple. But it turned out to look more like a broken crayon. But hey, broken crayons still color. Let's get to the adorable number 2 pencil. So I took this color from Apple Barrel called Pink Eraser. How perfect is this? Because that's exactly what we are making. So paint the first couple of inches with that pink eraser color. I'm pretty sure this is just one coat. It turned out so gorgeous. And then the rest of your noodle up until about maybe 2 inches from that pink eraser, you're going to coat with a bright yellow color. That color is literally called Bright Yellow from Apple Barrel. And while that dries, go ahead and get your aluminum foil, and you're going to make sure you pull off a piece long enough to wrap around the pool noodle. And I folded it down to make that edge just less rough and more of a sharp folded edge. And I wanted to measure it to just make sure that it would still cover the gap in the pool noodle. You just want to make sure everything is going to be nice and smooth for your edges. We don't want any jagged or rough foil edges. And then you are going to secure it to the pencil with your favorite adhesive. You can use double stick tape. You can use any type of glue. I just used regular spray adhesive or Elmer's glue. You don't want to use hot glue though, because the hot glue will melt the pool noodle, and the dried hot glue will create bumps in the foil and it will show through. So just secure it and start rolling it. Ta-da! Now let's add on the number 2. You can do this with a Cricut. That's how I did mine, but you can also use a paint marker, a Sharpie, or any way you prefer. And there it is, all cutely displayed with that giant piece of paper. It turned out so perfect. So here's the footage of the crayon. I just went ahead and did both ends of it in that pumpkin chalk paint color. You know how the ends of crayons are always different than the paper. The paper's lighter. Then I cut a piece of 1 inch thick black vinyl and cut little waves in it, and then I used it to stick onto the pool noodle. Leave a tiny gap above the two different colors, and then you want to just make sure those ends line up perfectly. Then you're going to take the other half and you're going to fit them together as if they were a puzzle, but leaving a slight gap in between the two pieces. So this will create that sort of wave line effect that's classic on Crayola crayons. See? Then you will repeat this exact process slightly below the top of the other side, and I just cut a long oval shape for the name of the crayon, like the Crayola, I guess, brand label, but I didn't feel like getting fancy and cutting it out and making a label and all that. This is just to show the process in case you wanted to make this, because this ended up being kind of like a fail. This next one was not a fail though. Grab yourself a black foam board from Dollar Tree and you're going to use a paintbrush and some white paint. I went ahead and blocked off a portion of the side of the board so that it would look like the spine of a composition notebook. You know how the side part is not speckled or marbled or whatever you want to call it. And I just went ahead and dabbed like this all over the black foam board, kind of making it look like a composition notebook. This is what that process turned out like. And then I went ahead and grabbed a piece of extra white foam board and cut it out to where it would cover up the middle shape like the composition notebook label. Traced a black outline around the side, and then I'm showing how I'm going to put two lines with this foam board. I just wanted a straight edge, and then I used that to kind of mark off so that I could write in a straight line the word composition. I sprayed that bad boy with some spray adhesive and then went ahead and patted it down dry. I did put something heavy on the top of it so that it would really get a good hold. And there it is. Check out how cool that looks. Up next, we're going to make a shadow box. I got this a while back from Michael's when it was on sale, and I used this part to make a template on a white foam board. And I'm going to do the same method that I did earlier to make a kind of mock piece of loose leaf paper. So here's the margin. Along with the blue lines for the loose leaf, I did go ahead and put in the 3 holes this time. I used the same method as I did on the giant board. I just left a larger gap up top and then just carefully went ahead and lined the rest. Year I'm going to be coaching, so I wanted it to reflect that. I've seen the great teacher quote, so I went ahead and designed my own and dumped some erasers inside and used the foam board to back the erasers, and I put the shadow box all back together. And here it is. It turned out so cute. Here it is on the window in our shared coach's office. Let's make a sign because we call it the coach's corner. I went ahead and painted about 3/4 of a wood round sign with black chalk paint, and then took some vinyl and no rhyme or reason, just pressed it down, got all the air bubbles out, and then I put slits in it so I could easily fold it over the side and it would be a smooth edge. So here's where we're at. And while the rest of that paint was drying, I went ahead and put the hanger back on and strung some beads on it for a little bit of extra pizzazz. I took a white dowel and literally dipped it in white chalk paint. So with that little bit of leftover paint on my fingers while that was drying, I went ahead and very carefully smudged it on the background so it would look like a chalkboard that had been used. And I put down my coach's corner sign, then took these pieces of ribbon and made a bow for the top. And here it is on our bulletin board. This will be a cute little area where I can hang information, and I will have a video coming up on how I got this bulletin board done so quickly because, as you know, time is just not something we have a whole lot of. And there you have it. Here's all of my quick and easy and affordable DIYs for my shared office space that we lovingly refer to as Coach's Corner. I hope everybody has an amazing school year, whether you are a coach or a teacher or a paraeducator. Whatever you do in education, you are so appreciated and your influence can never be erased. Thanks for watching.